So in this video, we'll be going through all my transactions in the month of September for my no spend challenge. And Akiva is going to be filtering through everything, and she will be the one to determine if I broke my rule or if I pretty much stuck to it this month.
Hey Wealth Builders, it's Akiva
And Meshack.
and welcome back to another episode of The Bemuse, where we are making sense of all things money for young adults just like us. So if you're into that kind of thing, go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button, and while you're at it, hit that notification bell so you don't miss when we post new videos.
In a few videos ago, which we'll link somewhere or put a card somewhere on the screen, you can use that to reference back to the rules and all of the parameters for this month of no spending.
So what I'm doing now is going through Meshack's credit card statements, because that is, or credit card activity I should say, because that's where most of his spending is done. So I'm gonna filter through and see if there's any transactions in here that should not be. The first couple of things look like transactions during FinCon. So we went to FinCon first weekend of September, first weekish of September. So there are a lot of things in here that are like business related expenses that I'm just not gonna count. There's also some stuff from our recent European trip where Meshack proposed that I can tell are those transactions. So I'll also like not cover those as well. For example, I see like Ryanair. I know, for example, that's for a flight we took while we were in Europe. So I'm not even gonna count that because that's a separate budget from like his normal everyday budget. Easy Pass, ExxonMobil, Panera.
So the Panera was me. That's when we were, I was waiting for Akiva at the mall to get her nails done. And we were out. I had come straight from work, picked her up, drove her to the mall. And the plan that day was we were supposed to, I think, get dinner together, or it was right before FinCon.
Yeah,
so I got a smoothie.
We were running around like crazy people.
While she was getting her nail done, I went and I got a smoothie from Panera, and I sat down and I was doing some work because I usually never leave work on time. So I bought my work laptop with me and I sat down in there, got a smoothie and was doing some work stuff.
Okay, yeah, and Panda Express, we had gotten dinner that night. Like I said, we were kind of running around like crazy people prepping for FinCon. So, I mean, I'll excuse that. I know we were both kind of crazy, a lot of things going on that day. So that was like, how much money did we spend on that? Panda Express, $14.68, and the Panera transaction was $4.76. So $20, we'll forgive that for now. Greyhound, what was Greyhound for?
My godbrother came to spend the weekend with me before he went off to the military. So I got some Greyhound tickets for him to come and spend the weekend. So that's what that transaction is. And that's something that I had planned from August. So it was something that was in my budget already. And that was, I believe, like $37 for those tickets.
Are those the tickets for the wedding in February?
Yeah.
United? Okay, so we're going to a wedding in February for one of Meshack's family members. So we bought our plane tickets. So of course that's something else. It's not like regular budget. That's something that we have, other sinking funds to cover. Burger
King. I was in New York. It was for $9.59. I was coming down to New York for a birthday party for my godfather. And I brought some people with me, some friends, and some people that I go to church with back in New York. And I offered for them to ride down with me, and we just ran into some crazy traffic. So I made a stop at a rest stop and I got something to eat, because that day I did not have breakfast, didn't have lunch, and it was like at that time we left at noon, but traffic was so bad that we didn't get to Delaware where we made this stop until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I had to get something to eat.
Did you have to, or did you just not plan properly?
When I woke up that morning, I was a-okay with not eating anything and just waiting until I got to New York, but I had no idea. Like, normally it takes 4 hours for me to get to New York, 4 hours or so driving. But like I said, 4 hours had gone by and we left like pretty much on time at 12, and we didn't get to Delaware, which is like halfway until 4. So I was like, I'm not about to drop all these people home, 3 people's that I bought. So I was dropping all of them home, and then I still had to make it back to my mom's house in New York. I didn't get in that evening until like 6.
Olive Garden, $147.90. Oh, was that when you went out with my parents?
Yes.
Okay.
And that was also budgeted for the month before.
Okay, another secret meeting that I didn't know about, but found out about later. Carolina Kitchen, $54.66. What was that?
My mom came to Maryland. They were coming for my cousin's birthday party, and again, planned before. Some things that I planned for in August for September. I knew that I wanted to take all of our parents out to dinner, just to sit them down and talk about what the plans were before the engagement actually happened. So that was planned. I think I had a budget of like $200, so clearly I was within that budget. And then I had another budget for dinner for when my mother and my grandmother and my other aunt came, for us to go out to a restaurant when they were there that weekend. And that was a budget of like $150. So again, clearly under budget for both of those.
And how exactly do you budget for these items? Like, where did that money come from?
I had excess money from August. That I had just been rolling over, like from months before. Like, I didn't use my travel budget, I didn't use like certain things like that, so I just kept rolling them all over into one large pool, and then I kind of separated them out based off of what I wanted to use them for. So it's not like it was a whole bunch of extra money that I had worked overtime or anything like that. It was prior months of not spending that I just kept saving.
So instead of choosing to save that money, you chose to spend it in September.
Yep.
Okay. Domino's, $8.47.
That was when my godbrother came. That one, I think that one was probably a I probably
could have been avoided.
Yeah, probably broke the rules there. He had come in later than expected. His bus was delayed by about an hour. And the plan was for us to, and I mean, not really, because I had money put aside for the whole weekend of him being there. But the plan for that evening wasn't to really buy anything to eat. The plan was to just take him back to the apartment, but honestly, I didn't have anything cooked. I would have made whatever he wanted at that time frame. I had stuff, but like I said, he got in an hour late, and I was just like, yeah, I got to get up and go to work tomorrow in the morning. Like, I'm not about to go back to the apartment and make something to eat. So I was like, do you want, what you want? And we stopped and just got a pizza.
Kung Fu tea. I know this had to be unnecessary.
That again, my godbrother took him to the Kung Fu tea place. So
he has an obsession with this Kung Fu tea place.
In the month of September, I knew that there were three things. Like, from August into September, it was a lot. Like I said, I had individual budgets planned for all of those items. So it wasn't something that I just went out and just, frivolously spent. It was planned from before, because I knew that they were coming, and according to the rules, that was A-okay.
And then Oohs and Ahs, that was with me.
No, that was with my godbrother.
Your godbrother. The
Saturday, because, listen, people, like, my apartment is very small, and although I could have cooked and done some things, like, we did eat at home, at my apartment, had some things that we warmed up in the oven and that sort of stuff, but nobody's getting up to cook and to do all of that. When someone is there, on vacation or coming to relax, you're just trying to have as much time as you can outside and to just enjoy. So we went out to eat a lot.
All right, so on to the second credit card. Okay, here we go. The movie, September 2nd, Multiplex Cinemas. Mm-hmm. Was that like with your mom or something when we went to New York?
Click on it so we can see where I swiped it.
At Linden.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that must have been with your mom. 2314.
That one, I probably broke the rules there.
Yeah. I was gonna say that sounds like a clear break the rules to me. Oh, did you tell me you had your ticket? Mm-hmm. Oh, he got a what's it called?
A red light.
A red light ticket, y'all. $150. This looks suspicious. $5.12 at 7-Eleven. You probably stopped and got yourself some munchies.
$5.12. Maryland. No, that's probably gas.
$5.12. Dry cleaners, $14.73. Since when you do dry cleaners that often?
I was coming to planning this trip, and I knew that I was not going to be going back to New York. I have a routine every weekend where I iron my clothes and I do all that stuff.
Boy, don't get this man off his routine. It would not be fun.
And this week, being that I was gone for a week, I knew that I was not going to kill myself. to iron everything for this upcoming week, so I sent everything to the cleaner so that when I got back, I wouldn't have to worry about it. After all three of those things, because like I said, I budgeted $200 for the dinner with our parents, and that was under. I budgeted $100 and something for the dinner with my mom and whatever when they came to Maryland. That was way under budget. And then for my cousin, him being there for the weekend, I had, I think, about $200 budgeted as well. And him, I know that either I was on budget or like slightly below.
Cool. All right, so I think we caught maybe like 3 transactions that we said were like probably shouldn't have been there. Maybe a total of like $50 or something like that.
I don't even think it was
in that
high.
range. So he did okay. He did a pretty okay for his no spend challenge. How did you feel going through the challenge? Did you feel like were you cognizant of it, or did you do anything different?
I really didn't. I didn't feel.
I mean,
limited.
you did also give yourself a lot of leeway with the rules, admittedly.
I don't think so. I think that the rules were that if it was something that was pre-planned, because you can also look at, like, those are my credit card statements. You can actually take a look at my checking account for that month. Like, there were a few.
You don't really do anything in your checking account.
There were a few withdrawals that were a little like weird, but like I mentioned, my godfather's birthday party, I gave him a gift, so that was something that I was also planning for as well.
And gifts
my
were
sister's
part of
housewarming, like I gave a gift, like all of that stuff was a part of the plan. So I knew that I wanted to do the no spend challenge. So pretty much when I decided that I wanted to do it like early August, I started to get September's budget in order, all the things that I knew that were coming, because September was so jam-packed, and then the beginning of October was going to be jam-packed for the engagement. So I made sure that everything was in that budget so that I stuck to it as much as I could. Well, I stuck to it. Because my mom would tell you, like, we were supposed to go to one restaurant. I wanted to take them to the restaurant that I went to for my birthday, where we cooked the food in front of ourselves. And that just didn't happen. We ended up going to Carolina Kitchen, which they had been to before. And she was like, oh, so are we going to go to the other restaurant? And I was like, no. Like, because that's going to put us over budget.
Oh,
no.
my goodness. Oh, no, I think you did a solid job. If I had to give you a grade, I would give you a, let's see, solid A-. That's going to be my grade.
I think that that's fair.
That's going to be my grade. A-. But good job.
And I think I'll try it again when it's more of a calm.
You can't do it when it's convenient for you, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, but I think that this one, like, people who are watching are going to be like, oh, he really didn't stick to his budget. He really didn't this. Like, I saved stuff for months before. That doesn't count. Like, you know, I should have put that money in savings prior. Like, with that in mind, like, I do think that those are valid points. So I'd be willing to do it again, but let's be honest, like, there's a lot coming up. Like, there's the holidays coming up. Like, November is when I start making purchases for Christmas. So for me to do it in November, it would be the same thing. If I did it in December, it's going to be the same thing. So, like, I'd have to wait until after the holidays to really do it again.
I mean, if your one rule is that you're buying Christmas gifts, like, those are excluded, like, that's just one rule. But everything else in terms of your personal lifestyle spending,
oh yeah, I didn't buy anything
fine.
out of the ordinary, or I didn't spend anything out of the ordinary.
I think, just from my observing your spending habits for like years, I think your biggest weakness is like eating out. Like, that's what I think. Is like you would like buy a little something here, like it's a $5 at Wendy's here, like a $6, you know, like those little things where it's like, like, you know, like I like sometimes it's drawing the line between I needed this versus like I really could have cooked at home. You know what I'm saying? So that's from my perspective. I think that's where the little things kind of creep in.
It's about convenience. Like, another example, like for the whole engagement and all of that, like it was very, very busy, like between work and like, it's just, I'm not even going to get into that, but it's just busy.
I'm already dreading having to cook food for work tomorrow.
And I just didn't have time. And that's where the convenience of stopping off somewhere to get something to eat really quickly comes in.
So if any of you guys have ever done a no spend challenge, feel free to share your experience in the comments below. Did you feel restricted? Did you feel relieved when it was over? Just how did you feel about the whole experience, and is it something that you'd recommend other people do?
If you like the content that we are producing, don't forget to subscribe and to hit that notification bell so you never miss when we post new content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.